Hello, fellow Mega Tennis, and welcome to another episode of the Hello, fellow Mega Tennis podcast. I'm LaRue, and with me is Glib,
Hello.
Neb,
Hello.
and Spider.
I'm awake this time.
Yeah, she did not die tragically.
Today we're going to be talking about one of the best Mega Ten games that's not really a Mega Ten game. We're doing a spoiler cast for Catherine and Catherine Full Body. So, Glib's going to go ahead and run down the plot for you guys, just in case you'd never heard of Catherine.
Okie doke, here we go. So the premise is
Good start.
excuse me. Anyway, Vincent and his girlfriend, Catherine with a K, have been dating for a while, and now Catherine wants to get married. So Vincent is stressed out, and he goes to the bar with his friends, and he meets a girl there named Catherine with a C. And so, having a fun time with her, he wakes up the next morning, and they're in the bed together. And so he's stressed from that, and then he starts having nightmares. So he talks to his friends, and apparently there's a curse which afflicts men who cheat. Yeah. So, and in the nightmares, he starts having them every night, and he can't remember what happens in them. But in them, everyone's a sheep, and they're forced to climb for their life up a tower of blocks. And at the end of the night, they're chased by their greatest fear. That's the gist.
Yeah,
That's correct.
good job. So, I mean, when it comes to the plot, what did you guys think? Because for me, I liked how simple it was, but the way that all the characters approach it it's pretty one-dimensional in the sense that almost everyone has the same like interpretation of what it is to be married, what it is to be in a relationship. You know, they present it very negatively, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they're all sort of like lost souls, sort of. I mean, these are also, you have to understand, in the framing, every night these motherfuckers are at the bar, drinking and eating pizza. That is not
And
cool.
having sushi, which that was bothering me, by the way. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but
I feel like
Orlando
that,
and him, they go to a revolving sushi shop like almost every day, and it's like, how?
They do like three or four times, yeah. The main character, Vince, and his good friend Orlando.
That
They
explains
go to
why
that.
he's living in a box and has no money.
Yeah, not only is
Yeah.
it expensive, but this
Speaking of the plot, the setting is weird because it's very much intended to be like an American setting. If you look at the architecture and everyone's names and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's like super inspired by Japan because this motherfucker lives in like a 400 square foot like closet, and like he goes to revolving sushi 3 times a week with his friend, and like the bar, like the dive bar he hangs out at, serves sake as one of the 4 choices of booze, which is insane. It's like, this is not what America is like. I don't know what you guys think is going on, but
And this guy drinks like a fish every night.
that is pretty American. I will give them that. It's also more Japanese than it is American, but sorry folks, but our recorder broke and we lost the little introduction we did for the main characters. You can find this trace ship like Johnny and Orlando. But we were able to save the part where we talk about Toby and all the side characters, so we'll just go ahead and move on with that. Apologies for the inconvenience, and enjoy.
And then you have like Toby, who's the young guy of the group, and it's important to know that he's literally younger than everyone else because everyone went to school together. Even what's her name, Erica. Well, then there's also Erica, who works at the bar that they all go to like every day because they all make a lot of money. Apparently.
But they don't save much money. Yeah, and those are sort of the main players. There's also the enigmatic boss
Mhm.
at the back of the bar who you can talk to. He doesn't really do anything.
He
for
just
a while.
says-
He becomes an important character later on.
He just says the misogynist.
There's a
makes
bunch
Postal,
of
man.
guests too that you can talk to that have some stories of their own if you don't let them die.
Yeah.
Yes, that is an important thing. I didn't know you could save all of them. So there's like little dudes scattered around the bar you can talk to over time. There's like an intrepid reporter and a fat cop. And there's also these twins that are like the Shining girls that grew
I
up.
think they're literally based on The Shining because
Well, they are because, like, again, so if you remember my original in Rito 1 review, everyone go watch that. It's a bad game. So listen to our review of that. I 100% saw the reference to The Shining in that with the Shinsekai soda joint or whatever that place is called. 100% a reference to that. This time, 70% a reference to that because he's not wearing red. He's in a white suit, the boss. Still a backlit bar. Very uncommon to have that. That's not normal to have like a LED backlit bar.
I looked that up.
Super bright.
It's somewhat a thing in Japan, anyways. which kind of ties into
really?
the thing that's weird about the game.
that this is not the America.
Yeah, this is like America Japan or like something, you know, because for everything that's American about it, it's those things tend to be more superficial, and everything else that's Japanese about it is like integral to the story.
Yeah. Well, okay. Also, going back to my point, the twins, extremely like middle-aged twins from The Shining, and they also tell you who died. And I didn't realize what they were doing until like the last day, when they were like, "Mr. Whoever died, Mr. Whoever died," and then I looked around the bar and I was like, "These people are missing," and I was like, "Oh shit, that's their name."
So, do anyone know who they are? Because like they just kind of left at the end. I didn't see who they were.
The fat chicks?
Yeah, who were they? Like,
I think they were just like witches or whatever involved with the fucking thing. Who cares?
I was gonna say something, but
Go on.
no, were you gonna say Spider? Because I didn't.
Absolutely
I
nothing.
didn't talk to them. Okay, wow.
he's deflecting. That's crazy. He's deflecting.
I was gonna say that they're average Persona 2 Fujoshi.
Wait, which character?
Oh my god.
Lindsay and Martha from the bar.
They're the
What?
women.
That's
Old
what we're
ladies at the
talking
bar.
about. The old ladies you can talk to get a progress update on like who's about to die in the bar.
Yeah, those two. I
Yeah,
remember
those
them.
two. Yeah. He was saying that.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
But I don't know who they are because I don't think they ever really hint. They just kind of make it sound like
I mean, they do hint, but they don't. They never say who they are.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I'm confused. That's why I wanted to ask because they kind of hinted at it, but they never like say anything about it though.
I kept talking to them too, and I couldn't figure it out. So
Yeah, I think they just serve as like that character in SMT4 and Q's bar or whatever, K's bar, whatever that guy's name is, where he like you can check your alignment.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that, but instead of checking your alignment, you check who's like about to die.
Yeah, I will say because
There's a really bad indicator because it uses like their first name, and you don't know any of the characters' first names other than your tight knit group of 3 dudes and the bartender.
and that's probably a translation issue as usual.
Maybe, yeah.
I will say though, if you do one of the Rin, I don't know if it's all Rin's endings, but in the one I got, they showed
We didn't talk about Rin yet.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
we didn't say what Rin
also
was.
in
So everything we've covered up until this point is in the original Catherine. But there's a new edition called Catherine Full Body, which everyone hates, I think, and thinks is transphobic. But we played it anyway. And there's a new character named... They ran out of ways to spell Catherine. Did they spell it with a
they
Q?
did, yeah.
Okay.
Only the English version did. Yeah.
That is actually
That's
probably
just
how
English thing?
millennials would spell Catherine. So that's pretty accurate. But yeah, there's a third Catherine. There's a neutral route Catherine, if you will.
Yeah,
But go on.
she's. I mean, we're doing spoilers because it's Spoilercast.
It's spoiler. It's not a she. Ding, ding, ding.
It turns out it's a
If
man
you
who
liked
enjoys-
Rin, you're gay. I'm sorry to tell you
It's
this.
a man who enjoys cross-dressing, and they're also an alien because it can't be just one twist. Which we can talk about that a bit. But anyways, when you get one of Rin's endings, you find out that those 2 old ladies become like famous fortune tellers, and I think they thank you or something. So yeah,
What?
they become fortune tellers. That's
Yeah, well, I'm not gay, so I didn't get the ending, so whatever.
Full Body sounds like trash, bro. I'm not gonna lie to
so.
you.
I mean, we can talk about Full Body, but the main differences is Rin's added stuff, and it's easier because you know the white boxes that you can throw, and it'll add to your thingy in front of you. It'll do
Yes.
it all around you, like so 9 boxes will fall instead of just forgot.
Oh.
So it's like extra cheesy.
Yeah.
Huh.
That sounds great.
No, it makes it
Yeah,
super dumbly easy.
I mean, that was nice, but the number of times you get that power up is not. It's not a lot.
and then also
I bought it every time. I bought it every time.
I bought
could,
it every
bro.
time too. Me and
I never bought it.
me and Glib
I never bought any of the power ups, so
Item was broken, bro. Of course I bought
me
it.
and Glib had a very similar experience in that I also struggled with this game.
Well,
I am so
how
bad.
about we get into gameplay? Why don't we talk about what the game's all about?
All right, that's fine. So
We can circle back to the story and talk about endings and stuff, but let's talk a little bit about what you do.
so
It's like Minecraft.
yeah, it's like Minecraft structured into eight days.
Exactly the same.
8 days of Minecraft, and each day gets supposedly it gets harder, but all it does is they just change by introducing a mechanic and removing a mechanic, kind of. Sometimes
I would argue it doesn't make it more difficult.
it doesn't.
Honestly,
It gets easier at the end, really.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the basics. So the way the game works, if you're not aware, why were you not aware if you're listening to this? But if you're not aware, Vincent goes into his nightmares. He's forced to climb a tower of blocks, as Glib said. The way you do that is you shift blocks around by pulling them on top of yourself or in different directions in order to climb up them incrementally to get to the end. And you're faced with lots of obstacles. There's blocks where if you step on them, they'll produce spikes out of the top if you stay on them too long. There are blocks that'll move on their own and push you off if you try to climb on them. There's ice blocks where if you step on them, you'll start sliding until you reach either nothingness or something that isn't an ice block. And a host of other obstacles to stop you or impede you or fuck you up.
And on top of that, you can also save like the bartender or the bar patrons as well, right? I never saved them, so I don't know how it works.
So you have to talk to them in the by the cathedral.
Yeah, after you complete a level, you can you get to the ending, you pull the little lever, it pulls you up, and you get to talk to these NPCs that are sheep, but they are wearing very obvious emblematic symbols that tell you, oh, this is the fat cop from the bar, or this is the reporter from the bar. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to knock on your door and shoot you in the head. All right, anyway. So you're going to finish the level, talk to some people. And I didn't know this either. We just started talking about this. You have to have like specific responses, like alignment style, to save them. If you fuck up at basically any point, you cannot save them by the end of the game.
Yeah, because the questions will also push you from law to neutral to chaos.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, every time you have a response to someone, you have an alignment meter, which pushes you towards Catherine with a K, which we'll call Law Catherine, and Catherine with a C, which we'll call Chaos Catherine.
Just call them C and K.
And then there's also a third alignment, which I guess is kind of neutral.
It's neutral,
which is just Gay Catherine.
The thing about that one though is that no, actually, keep going.
Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that's another thing you have to keep in mind, because even if you save everyone, it might fuck up your alignment for your ending. So who knows? I mean, I didn't really care about my alignment. I was sort of in the middle. I ended up Volcel King. Women are trash. You know what I'm saying? Dudes rock. 2021. Let's do it.
I ended up with both the law and the chaos endings, true endings, because in classic it makes it pretty easy to see where it's going, or the answers are very obvious.
Right.
There isn't really any ambiguity with there.
Yeah.
I got true Catherine with the K route. Nice.
I did Catherine with a K's true route, and I did a Rin route, which I think it was a true one. And the Rin one sucks. It sucks a lot. Like, it's really bad. But I'm glad that it exists, because then it makes me appreciate how much I like Catherine Classic, you know? So...
To clarify, how many routes are there in total?
How many routes or how many endings?
Yeah, total. I guess endings.
There's like 4 routes, and then each one has a good, bad, and
there's
maybe true.
Good, bad,
also.
True. And then for freedom, there's good and true. So then there's.
Oh, okay.
So then there's 9.
So it's like 8,
10, 11.
I know, 11.
So
yeah.
I think.
And then there's all the Rin ones, and then the new Catherine and the new.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize they added
one.
a new Catherine and a new other Catherine.
Yeah, there's 2 new endings there.
So
I think there's a new bad ending too.
Oh,
there's a lot of endings.
Okay,
folks.
so I'm gonna look at the wiki. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 new endings. 13 endings altogether. That's how many endings there are. And
that's a lot.
I mean,
I only know of 3.
I only know 2.
I know 1 is the only one you need. Women are trash.
I did Catherine with a C my first playthrough, but that was like 2009 or whenever it came out. 2010. I want to say. I feel like it came out a long time ago, but it sucked, and it wasn't the true ending because I didn't get the crazy, men like.
Yeah, I didn't like it didn't feel very cool having those like very binary, obvious questions dictate your alignment.
Yeah,
Because like if you answer honestly and you're not like
a scumbag.
yeah, if you're not like a complete whore or like a God-fearing monogamy, whatever, then you're gonna end up in the middle.
No, I answered all of them honestly, and because most of the questions were like pretty black and white. Like, what?
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you have to read into it with some gray area, and you're gonna end up on one side, but that may not be true to what you actually think. You know,
The problem with it is that they didn't make the questions like make you have to think. They didn't make it vague enough so you can go like, oh, would you kill a hobo to save your friend type of thing, where you're like, oh, well, the killing's bad.
Is this the Blade Runner test?
Instead, it's like, hey, are you into baby
Yeah,
play?
exactly. And you're like,
No.
What's your opinion on diapers? It's like, no, why?
Yeah, I think that they should have definitely made it give it a little more like less or a little more gray, like you were saying. Super dumb.
Sure. I mean,
the ones I hated the most were the ones that like weren't the game at all. Like there's one question that the two ladies asked. I forget the names. I think Martha and Lindsay. They said something like, "Do you like golf or baseball more?" Like what?
Yeah.
that changes your alignment.
Yes, it does.
There's a lot of.
I'm guessing baseball is law, though.
Yeah, because golf is only pedophiles play golf.
I said baseball too.
Yeah,
Golf is so long,
That's
bro.
true.
baseball's more popular in Japan.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
Oh,
right.
is that why? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes
I'm like
sense.
looking
That
at all
makes
the
sense.
Golf is the degenerate whore route.
It's a little weird choice though. I wouldn't ask that question.
Listen to these questions, by the way. Does life begin or end at marriage? Like, why would you put like, yeah, it ends at marriage? Oh my god, or even it begins, because neither of those are true. It just continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like trying to suss out, like, oh, are you okay with this or
Yeah,
not?
but-
I guess
I
if
actually
you're
think
like,
that's one of the better questions, but it's still very like too
But
polarized. for
here's
me.
another one, but this one's worse. Do you get bored easily? Which one do you think is law? Saying no or saying yes?
right.
saying
no?
no is chaos, or saying no is law.
What?
Saying yes.
But
is
then, what if
chaos.
you just get bored easily? What if you have OC?
You're chaotic.
What if you have?
You're chaotic.
Well, like chaos is like seeking excitement and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so it makes sense.
I get bored easily. I'm not.
ADHD is chaos coded.
Jeez.
The Ruse chaos confirmed.
And then here's another one.
That's why he got Catherine in the poll.
Exactly.
Which okay,
He's gonna cheat.
here's another question. I mean, you don't have to answer because I know that you won't feel comfortable, Glib. But which looks better on men, boxers or briefs?
What?
Which do you think
Well,
is?
I didn't get.
I never
I didn't
got
get.
that
Oh,
question.
Why would I not be comfortable with this? I'm confused. I want to know now.
Well, it's because there's so each day or whatever has like 10 or so potential questions.
I think they did ask me that, but I don't remember. Like, you said something like I
I
wouldn't
said
get
you
it.
wouldn't
I
feel
don't
comfortable
what you
because I
mean.
know you don't want to talk about your body.
What are you talking
Which
about?
one do you think?
The correct answer is brief.
Yeah, briefs is
I wear
law.
boxers.
Brief.
Yeah, that's why you're like Vincent. You
But
suck.
why is brief law? Briefs
What?
is so. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't get the Rin route, so I don't care about men's underwear. Sorry, folks.
that's not a Rin's thing. That's like in.
If you got the Rin route, you might care about men's underwear. I'm just saying.
But yeah, it's.
Boxers are comfy. I'm just
I
saying.
think that's one of the things that like bothered me the most is that the questions are just. I don't understand how they're law and chaos. I could see sometimes, but then when questions like that, I'm like, how is briefs law? Like, what's chaotic?
Briefs
Is it law, really?
briefs are constricting but supportive.
Yeah, briefs
Boxers
is law.
are loose and open, and they could lead to your destruction in a way. But it's also there's more space to work with.
I really hate talking to you now.
It makes sense.
It does.
We'll go
Give
with
me
that.
any of these questions. I can break down the law of chaos.
It's
Easy. It's
yeah,
brain
it's
dead.
literal. That's what I'm saying. It's dumb because it's like okay,
Sure.
But anyway,
But you still don't get it though. But okay, go on.
there's like these. So you guys all played it on PC except Glib, right? Or Nab?
No, I played it on
I've been on
PS4.
PC.
I played full
Yeah,
body.
and I played it on PS4.
I just use DS4 for it though. That's what it was.
Yeah, it sucks to play it without a controller. I think that's one of the things can you even play it on PC without a controller?
You can.
Probably.
They're probably
The only weird thing
okay.
was because I was using controller, it would like keep the mouse keep coming on by itself sometimes. It was like really weird. It was really annoying.
Oh, that sounds bad. Yeah, I don't know. In terms of gameplay, were there any things that you guys thought like was bad? Because for me, it was pretty tight. It was like
okay, bad. I think we should talk about the elephant in the room here.
What?
There's a forced escort quest in this game.
What?
Oh, that was pretty easy though.
Yeah, that one wasn't very fun at all.
It wasn't.
It was easy.
It wasn't horrible, but I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated that they thought that this was necessary. There's no
the only issue I had with it was that sometimes she'd get in my way and I couldn't go past her sometimes. Like, that only happened like twice though, so I wasn't really.
I don't think I even had to restart that entire thing, but I still hated it. It was like
I did once because I got to the end and then she died when she was off screen.
Dumb bitch.
Yeah, at the end, if you get too far from her, it'll electrocute her.
It just shows life begins when you get married. So if you don't save her then, life.
You gotta leave her behind, folks.
It's for me. I think basically I struggled a lot playing the game. It's just not a game that I'm good at, but I enjoyed it because it always. If that makes sense.
Well, there was something.
The only issue
like you can't turn all the way around or whatever. And Catherine Full Body, you can look all the way around, and it's way easier to like kind of plan in like a 4D chess version. You know, I like.
Yeah, that's a problem too. I forgot about that.
I would say easier, but it's still incredibly annoying when it like the puzzle ahead of you relies on manipulating the blocks behind.
Oh, right, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are some like that where it's like they expect you to know that you can push a block towards, like away from the camera, like in front of you.
Yeah.
And it'll fall down. But you can't know that for sure until you rotate the camera, and that spends precious time doing that. It's annoying. It's clunky.
And you still might not be able to see.
Yeah, and it's like I've died and restarted it, and the AI decides to do that, and I'm like, how did you know to do that? Because when you restart, it'll like autoplay, and it's like, what made you believe that was an option at all?
Another detriment would be Rin in Full Body, because in Catherine Classic you just have to play, and it's important to note that the default difficulty in Catherine Classic is added difficulty that they put in the Western release. The normal version of the game in Japan doesn't have that difficulty. We're playing it on easy mode, basically. But in Catherine Full Body, Rin will assist you by playing her piano to quote unquote soothe her. Basically, it makes the game easier, and I think time slows down a bit or something, or the doesn't matter as much.
It doesn't really matter because basically when she plays, I believe, so as you're climbing the tower in the game, the levels will fall off the map and be untraversable. And you have to, as you're climbing up, it'll chop off parts of the map as you climb up. And it'll slow down that process at times. But I've literally never had it help me ever.
Yeah, to me it's just immersion breaking, because I like the music in the dungeons, but it'll stop because she'll play her stupid song. I'm just like,
I don't like the music. Well, we'll talk about it later, but yeah, she also, this bitch only knows one song.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I'll help you.
And everyone's like, there's like a plot point to go back to the story where this new character is like a virtuoso at the piano, and it's like so incredible. And there becomes like a citywide phenomenon that this girl is like so good at the piano, she will give you luck if you listen to her.
Yep, I forgot.
And it's like, do you people, have you heard any songs? There's more than one song, especially on the piano. There's like billions of songs. Yeah, there's so many keys you can press in certain sequences to make songs. And you don't have to play the same one.
It's literally like, what would it be like if Glib was like, I don't know who I am, and then he sees the piano and he starts playing chopsticks, and people are like, wow,
and then it gets canceled.
Yeah, you're my angel. It's so bizarre because to me, Catherine in general is a very like grounded game. There is some supernatural elements and some bizarre things that they do, but in general,
obviously,
it feels more like it's supposed to be somewhat realistic, and then having her in the game breaks it because suddenly, or I guess I should keep calling him he, but him in the game like breaks all of that because now you have this dumb anime perfect guy who everyone loves instantly and becomes instantly famous for knowing chopsticks.
Yeah, you're actually right. She is sort of is like a fucking Mary whatever Gary.
Mary Sue.
Well, what's the one if you use
Gary
two
Stu?
though? Gary
No,
Sue.
it's Gary Stu.
No,
Gary Stu.
Gary Stu's a man, but this is a man who presents as a
So then
woman
Gary Stu.
through clothing.
Oh,
Gary
I don't know
Sue.
the terms.
This isn't real. I'm just making this up. But yeah,
Oh.
she's like a self-insert character. Like, yeah, really has no flaws. Even when he's like gets nude in front of the main character, the guy is like a straight man for all of his life. He's just like, yeah, I might be gay, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, dick might be good. I don't know. But like that's how much of like a Gary Sue he is. He's just
Yeah,
like,
you can literally rewrite your like
your attraction to people, which was fluid or whatever for some people, but not for me. But for some people,
yeah.
I got the impression he was pretty just perfect.
yeah. There's no
it's
character
not-
flaws ever. Like every conversation they have, there's nothing where he's like did anything wrong. He's being chased by a stalker or something, and he's a victim. And
It's a very like a healing type character.
yeah, which is fine, but maybe have like some kind of conflict there.
Well, he does have one conflict, which is that he's not comfortable being male or something, which is why he cross dresses. It's like that. It's like that thing that gets fixed.
That's just like half of men in the world, though.
That's not a flaw.
Well,
though.
they present it as a flaw. Are you saying that I'm? What are you implying?
I didn't say it, but I laughed. But yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Transfer brew? Is that where we're at now?
Anyway, yeah. So not only is he like he was like a little insecure about it, but he's also an alien. So that's a flaw, I guess, because the world already has demons, which I thought was cool because I could believe that demons exist in that world. When they added aliens, I was like, okay, well now it doesn't feel like the same kind of game. It goes into a completely different campy like place,
Yeah, I thought the new Catherine was going to be an angel because like the back of his little dress had wings.
Aren't they kind of angels?
Kinda.
I guess they come from the sky.
Yeah, and they are pink, just like angels.
Uh,
But it's I don't know. I feel like that's my major my major complaint with Full Body is like that was unnecessary. It's literally the Marie, the girl from Strange Journey Redux, the girl from Persona 5 Royal. Like it's just that unnecessary addition that changes the formula in a bad way. But
I haven't played P5R yet, but yes, based on the other ones, she does. I don't know. Even like the Strange Journey one, she's not that bad. She's at least tortured and like kind of conflicted and makes wrong decisions, like trying to kill the main character. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, whenever we do this, spoilercast for that.
Anyway, sorry to spoil SJR. No, we're not going to, but we might. But yeah, a very Marie-like character. I agree, but maybe less annoying. Annoying that she exists, but not annoying in every single line of dialogue she ever gives.
That's true.
Which is
Well, actually, no.
Marie is excruciating in every encounter you have with her.
No,
It's like,
I hate the saccharine. Like, I'll help you. I hate it so much. Even the tone of voice.
more than Marie.
I hate it way more. I'd rather have someone like,
Whoa.
like, shut up, dummy. I didn't. It's not like I liked you anyway. I prefer that.
LaRue is confirmed for soon. He loves soon.
Ooh?
Soon, yeah.
Oh no, I'm just saying that to.
He watched Evangelion. And he's like, us, cause my wife.
No, the best Evangelion. Actually,
Because of the body pillow. You're spoiling it. You're off the rails this episode, man. We gotta reel you in.
Okay, anyway, was there anything that you guys like thought was like good about? Well, I guess what were your highlights for like the story or the cast?
I like romance manga and like romance manga, so I enjoyed it a lot. But The funny thing for me was at first I didn't like Catherine because she was kind of mean.
one?
It was like there's one time in the Cat with the
Okay.
K, sorry.
Yeah,
And there's one part in the story.
Lothrin.
There's one part in the story where they're at a dinner together. I think it's like a restaurant, I guess. I don't know. And so Vincent has on shades, and she takes them off, and she's like, "So you think you're cool now?" And I'm like, "Bro, what's wrong with you?" But after a while, I'm like, Vincent kind of sucks. I get her now. I feel it.
Glib became whipped.
True. I'm sorry.
I thought it was funny that but when they're talking about the shades, right? She's like, "Oh, you think you're looking cool with those shades or whatever." The conversation before that is the Erica talking to Vincent about Boss wearing shades, and she's like, "Oh, you think he's hiding from someone?"
I didn't even notice
Or
that. That's
cheating?
crazy.
Oh,
So Vincent comes the next day with the shades on.
very clever.
Spider actually paying attention to the story. I literally didn't pick that up either. I think the only thing I picked up was how in a lot of the cutscenes, Lindsay and Martha would like watch you guys. Like she'll just watch you guys talking to your friends. Really weird. It's really sketchy.
To like turn her head.
Yeah,
and stuff?
like. So you know how they're both sitting on the one side that they'd be facing the back of Vincent's head,
which is very suspicious. If there's two people eating in a booth at a
side by
restaurant,
side. It's really weird, yeah.
you don't sit side by side. That's
But
weird.
then in some of the cutscenes, they would be sitting on the booth part, the section of the booth that's directly behind Vincent, and peering over, and it's really weird. I don't know if it was an Easter egg or if it's some sort of like I don't know, flaw with the way that they planned it or whatever. But it was always really weird, and it always like freaked me out. Same thing with Toby. Toby would look at the screen too. He looks directly at the viewer when you're standing there for a while. He'll do that, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a coincidence either, but it's really creepy.
That's probably just a weird like scripting thing.
One thing I did like is in the beginning of the game when you first go in the nightmare, you can like tell it's Catherine because the blue fingernails. That was neat.
And also because it looks like Catherine.
Yeah. I like
Also
all
'cause
the
she's a
little
bitch.
subtle-
I mean, it didn't at first. When it first comes on the screen, all you see is her
Oh,
hand.
fair.
Idiot.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I like all the little subtle things where it doesn't have to explain it to you. It just waits for you to actually pay attention and see stuff like with Vincent's plight.
Mhm.
You know he doesn't want to commit, but you can kind of find out why just by looking at the environment or interacting with other people or objects like the ATM.
Oh yeah, that's what got me at first. I didn't realize it was the money thing until I talked to the ATM. They barely mentioned it too.
And no, I think he brings up the fact that he transitioned to a new job and has no money, which is like
Later,
That's
after the
his
ATM.
lie.
is
When when he's talking to Catherine, it's like an excuse.
well, it's not. I mean, it's a legitimate concern. I mean, if you're having a kid, you have to have cash. Which I mean,
What's the real concern about
the,
our route?
the
too? I
reason
don't
it
think
sounds like bullshit. I think this is a Japanese thing again. I think this is a Japanese thing. When you change jobs, you lose money or something. Because I feel like he said this a lot, at least in my playthrough on
He
full
says
body.
it for like the first he says it like maybe at least 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah, because Catherine with a K, Lothrin, like drops the bomb. Is like, I'm pregnant with your child, even though she actually wasn't. Because she's a bitch. Because all women do this, but they all like. She tells him that she has a child, and he's thinking about money. Always thinking about money. And this comes up like 5 times for me.
That's true.
He's like, I changed jobs. I have no money. I don't understand how
Hey,
those are
you're a
combined.
Redditor.
He also
What
talks
does that
to
mean?
a programmer too, and he ends up having to stay late, and he doesn't get overtime.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he gets.
Yeah, and if you keep talking to the ATM too, he'll talk about like, I don't have enough money to raise a kid. What am I going to do? I can't marry her like this and stuff like that.
that's what I heard too. That's why I didn't think it was a
Thing.
excuse.
Yeah, so he's like,
The-
and he lives in a box.
yeah, he lives in a
It's like
400
one step
square
away
apartment.
from a cardboard box.
There's like a word for that kind of apartment. I can't remember what it's called, but the one that's literally just a room and a bathroom, basically. I can't. It's dang it.
It's very extremely Japanese
Utility or
architecture.
something. Like, yeah, it's like,
Yes, yeah.
The blue-collared prison.
Basically.
So I was gonna say that I liked Catherine full body a lot because it adds context to Catherine and Vincent's relationship, Lothrin's relationship with him. But then now that you're talking about all this flavor text stuff that I didn't even bother doing, I'm like, man, I guess they added that for dumb people like me who just didn't do it. They're like, oh no, there's a lot of idiots playing at these cutscenes. But
Hold on, I was talking about my favorite thing. We're talking about their favorite thing. My favorite part of the story, Vincent is going insane. He's in the bathroom. He's on the toilet next to his good friend Orlando. I guess they're at work or something. I don't know where they are.
Probably so.
But he's discovering that Chaos Rin is possibly not real. He's not seeing her texts anymore. He's not seeing images that receive the extremely pornographic images that she sends because she's a harlot. But he's like going nuts, and he says out loud, "Is this a dream?" And Orlando goes, "Oh no, who would dream of taking a dump with another man?" Which is my favorite line. And then he continues looking through his phone, and he goes, "They're all gone." He's talking about the photos and the messages that are missing because she's like a ghost or whatever. And Orlando goes, "Oh, do you need toilet paper? 1 second." And then there's like this stupid confusion scene about all the messages being missing, but he's talking about the toilet paper being missing, and Orlando's trying to feed him toilet paper under the stall. Extremely like Three Stooges tier humor, but I was laughing that entire time. That was great.
Orlando is not the sharpest guy.
We needed more of that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I liked it when he was being funny. I hated his like anti like women rhetoric that he was constantly spewing. He was like the most. I'm like, man, this guy really hates women.
He's divorced. What do you think a divorced guy is like?
I know.
It's like me, but justified.
I don't know. He's like a men going their own way like guy.
Wasn't that though? Come on.
The guy at the bar with the pompadour is way worse.
Oh my god,
he is crazy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the outsiders guy.
Yeah, he died on my first round, and I was not sad.
Yep.
He was like, a man's worth is only how high he can go in the women he's dating. I was like, oh, okay, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's like one of the only ones that doesn't really get better by much either.
Really?
Everyone else kind of just works through their shit, even Orlando, and that guy just kind of like, yeah, this other my best friend screwed my wife. I cheated on her a bunch, but we're good now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of realistic.
And he doesn't change.
It's kind of realistic for not everyone to have like a supreme change of heart.
Yeah, I suppose it's gonna end up back in the dream
True.
now.
But if Rin was there, she could have cured him by playing piano.
Yeah, she could have played chopsticks.
Didn't
But
I'll save you.
Yeah.
I want a mod of that now. Can someone mod Catherine Classic so it's just chopsticks,
But
like bass boosted chopsticks?
But I don't know. I always thought that they try to do this thing where they bait you into talking to the different people at the bar, and by having like some sort of like bombastic statement. The police officer is the worst because he literally is like, "I killed my wife. I'm still investigating it," and I was like, "Why would you say that?" Like that.
Well, it's probably like a member from Persona 4. I guess isn't this a spoiler?
Stop.
Maybe I won't say that. Whatever.
He feels responsible.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
I hated that bait. Like it's literally clickbait, but in the form of like voiceover. Because he was like,
yeah.
It's
the worst part is he doesn't make it clear like the last day. He's like the last day in the game, not the last day in the game, but like the last couple of days in the game. Like the whole time I was confused. Like, why did you kill your wife?
Yeah. He didn't. Yeah.
I knew the minute he said that he didn't actually fucking.
Yeah,
he didn't treat his wife like a BLM protester. Just gun him down.
But he baits it. He baits a conversation with you, and I'm just like, why did you do that? You could have just said like, "Man, I miss my wife" or something.
He says that
But
too.
Lead with that. That's like the most stupidest thing. It made me not like the first time I played. I didn't like talk to him. I was like, "You're dumb. Like you don't even know how to like form basic conversations."
Well, he's dumb and drunk.
Yeah.
So he's gonna say dumb stuff.
I hate that you're like apologizing for all.
Yeah. Lure did the ACAB playthrough. He didn't talk to the police officer once.
Wow.
I actually the first time I didn't, and then he died. And I was like, good. But then
I didn't realize that you had to have specific fucking responses every single time. I just went by alignment. I was like, oh,
well, okay, how's this?
I guess I'll say this.
Who is the worst bar patron? For me, it's Archie. He's the like that. I'll post a picture because you'll see what I'm talking about when.
Yeah, I guess
Archie's the one with the long hair. Oh, he's not the worst.
Yeah.
His friend is the worst.
His friend is the worst.
he was like abused or something, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. His
See, I'm not anti-abuse like Larissa. He's pro-abuse, but I'm anti-abuse. So I would say the worst is the greaser guy, the outside.
You guys are
guy,
all
the
you guys are all in
spider guy.
agreement with that guy.
Yeah, I don't like him.
He kind of
He's crazy.
sucked. Yeah.
I didn't like him at all.
You might.
The cop had some stuff. The reporter had some stuff. The couple had some stuff. I let all of them die, obviously. I didn't know.
What is the
crazy.
cop guy's name?
For
I
me,
forgot
the
his
reporter
name.
and the police guy lived.
Yeah, for me, the only people who lived in full body were the Shake and the singer, and they're like linked, I think. So I think you can get both of them at the same time.
You're talking about this guy, Todd.
Todd, yeah, Todd. That's
He
it.
sucks.
The only thing cool about Todd is he looks out for
Archie.
what's the other guy's name? Archie. Like he helps him with his job and like that, and make sure he's okay because that Archie's got some issues.
Well, I'll be honest and say that I didn't finish talking to Todd.
I literally don't remember the abused long-haired guy except as a sheep. I literally don't remember seeing him in the bar ever. I
Well,
just
you're
remember
better
seeing him
off.
only as a
You're
sheep.
better off.
He's always with Todd, or
Oh,
if he I think the first time you see him, he's by himself with a cop usually
Yeah,
sits.
that's exactly.
Everything to me, I looked at every character as much as I could, and I don't remember this character at all. Like all he said was like one time he's like mean. To
No.
women or something. I don't remember
You're talking about Todd. His first Archie.
I mean,
His first line is, "I don't like women. They disgust me."
What a king.
And that
Archie for president.
no, and I was just like, "Is this booth the booth where people are stupid because everyone says the dumbest thing to get you started?"
He was wild, bro. He was wild.
Archie is also the one cheating on or cheating with Todd's wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know
That's
that.
why
Yeah.
he seduced her and he was like, the fact that you'd fall for me is disgusting.
No, he's not too happy about it. Actually, it just kind of happened. Apparently, he has a hard time saying no or something to people.
well, he dies.
That also sounds Japanese.
Yeah. The thing that's interesting about it is I feel like this game does more like in regards to like the human psyche than Persona does. At least modern Persona.
I
Definitely does.
don't think Persona has anything as dark as Archie's storyline.
What is the rest of his? Well,
I don't know.
His-
P5
his,
has some dark stuff. P3 has some
He's
dark
abused
stuff.
by his dad.
Archie's mom locks him in in a basement for most of his childhood and rapes him.
what the?
Okay, I don't know about the
That-
rape.
And he
remember that part.
escapes
And what?
one day. Yeah.
I thought she just beat the shit out of him. Damn.
Yeah, I don't
No.
remember that part.
Dang. We're playing completely different
That's
games
like-
because on my version of the game,
That's what I'm saying.
I was like, okay,
How did you guys miss this? This is like
I
I told you, I never
no.
talked to him at the bar. I only talked to him. My last time I ever talking to him was the day before he died. He's like, "Mother's hands are cold" or something, and I'm in a
Fucking
dark
every day I
hole.
remember this.
I'm like, oh, I guess he's just beating him or something. This is a weird sort of thing.
No, it's far worse than that.
But it's probably better that I let him die, though, right? I was right. You guys are wrong for letting him live.
I didn't let him live. As soon as he talked to me,
Yeah, he only definitely lived for you.
literally the way I would play the game is I'd talk to them once, and if it was cringe, I would let them die. That's-
I mean, I didn't like him at first for that line either, but I was like, you know what, I'll just keep going with it and see what it is. And I was like, oh, actually, I feel pretty bad for this guy. Kind of understand why he said something stupid like that
like,
because he's scared out of his mind, out of everything.
Right.
I guess. Oh yeah, I guess that's the difference between you and me. I judge a book by its cover.
Everyone like
But
that.
dang, I guess that's something that I missed out on. I really should have just talked to everyone all the way.
Yeah. Vincent's childhood classmate too from kindergarten, or is it
Oh, I
kindergarten?
know
or
you're
elementary
talking
school.
about,
I felt bad for that guy too. He's stuck in an arranged marriage, and his current girlfriend wants to get married, but his parents don't approve.
Yeah.
And she went to college. She
He's
went
with the guy with the glasses,
to like etiquette school and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff to be able to like marry this guy, and they say no.
The weirdest thing about him was like they were friends in elementary school, and like he was still mad about that. Like, why are you still have an inferiority complex from like kindergarten, bro? Like, what's wrong?
He's not really angry. He just envious of Vincent. He doesn't hate
Yeah.
him or anything.
Oh, a
like that.
5-year-old?
No.
Come on.
That
bro.
it's like he's projecting the way he feels about Vincent being able to live out something that he can't by remembering that one thing that happened to him in elementary. He was one of the people that I talked to all the way. You're talking about that.
Very, very Japanese.
Yeah, he definitely romanticizes like Vincent's freedom of choice of doing
Yeah.
things.
It's literally Vincent can do something he cannot do the exact thing that Vincent can, so he's angry about it, which makes a lot of sense. I like it. I liked him. He was one of the ones that I liked.
He died for me again. I don't remember this guy very well.
Just let them all die.
Well, in the
The Shake and the Singer, they were chilling on the last day. It was a very empty
The
bar.
singer? Which one's the singer?
It's in
That
Full
Catherine?
Body.
And the reporter guy, which was,
Justin,
that was also a sad story, but I wasn't really interested in his
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, well, once you get past like being raped in a basement all year or whatever, versus like
the reporter.
I know. Comparatively
Um,
speaking, though, like that guy's story is like whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. Like the reporter's story was whatever. It was just, like I literally had no like feelings about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, same.
it was a sad story too.
It's
just,
mundane, but that's what makes it sad. It's so common.
Yeah.
It's such a common
Yeah.
thing to happen. That's why
I think it's more like his voice or personality is just kind of. What is that cut? That line he always says. The back. I was so annoyed by that every time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't recall.
I don't remember what his catchphrase was.
Yeah, he says
Oh, it's
he'll
the truth.
quote
It's
you
the
something
truth.
and he'll say it's a fact. Or, yeah, it's the
So
truth.
annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did say that a lot.
Ugh.
That's how I figured out which sheep was him, because he says it in the dreams too.
But not the fact that he's wearing a giant like ballistic vest
Yo,
or whatever the hell he's wearing.
Every sheep was the same to me. I could not tell the difference, even when.
What are you talking about? There's a guy with the fucking pony boy haircut, and then there's a sheep that he's covered in gold, and there's a sheep who fucking is wearing a jacket exactly like a human version.
Okay, and then when you remember that I literally talked to most people just once, like you're surprised that I don't remember everyone. Sorry that I remember the annoying guy who I talk to all the time.
Well, you should have played the game better.
But
The quote that annoyed me the most was the one that the boss kept saying, like, you get being like, a certain someone said this. I was like, bro.
it's a you.
Yeah, where was he taking the quotes from?
I think different people.
Are they like philosophical quotes or something? He kept saying that. And I was like, I want to punch this
Yeah, he
motherfucker.
mentioned
in
who
the
it
face.
was once at the end, because I think Vincent comments on that too. Vincent says something about it, and he says who it came from. I think one was Dante, maybe. I forget. I don't remember. I replayed the game, but I'm not going to.
That would make sense.
I don't know. I don't even remember that being an issue because I'm not a big baby.
All right, bro.
So in terms of we kind of started talking about it a little bit earlier, but what do you guys think about the music?
I like the one song at the save menu and the title screen. I like that song. That's it though. I don't care about video game
pretty
music.
nice. I like having the jukebox there too, for when you get tired of the song
Oh yeah, that's true.
after so many playthroughs. Yeah, some of the songs felt very Rido, like it's that same. I don't know if that's like a keyboard horn or something.
Yeah, it is that annoying.
Oh, for me, I thought it was very
Yeah.
Strange Journey for parts. I could think of Strange Journey.
It didn't sound like Strange Journey to me. I mean, there's just like one song in there that did, I think. And I don't remember where it was.
I think what you're saying is that it sounds orchestral, right? Like you're saying that it sounds like
Yes.
I get that, but it does sound more like it does have the same horns that Meguro uses in Persona 4 and in Raito for some reason. He just really loves those horns. And they're not like real horns, they are like synth horns, which is obnoxious. My complaint is that some of the songs are just real songs, like from real life, that they're just playing in there.
Yes.
Yo, tell me why. The credit song is Amazing Grace. I did not get that.
I don't know. It's annoying to me, actually. I actually felt annoyed because, like, why don't you just make up a song? Like, you did that. You did 120 songs for Persona 5, and you can't make up 20 songs for Catherine? Like, come on.
I hated the OST of this game. Hated it.
It's like Center absolving his sins or something. Yeah, it fits.
There was like
I'm fine with that because like Hitman Blood Money uses like Awe Maria. That's like a great use of it.
and here it's not.
But this is like some fucked up like MIDI chip tune version of like Ride of the Valkyries or whatever, or like Ode to Joy or some dumbass song. It's like, what are you doing? This sucks.
And what's worse is the OST has different names for everything, so you don't even know what song it actually is.
I haven't even looked at those.
Don't look at it.
I hate it.
To me, it's very irritating. Like if you're gonna like sample a bunch of things or do whatever, like just be like call it whatever the in game is, and then put in parentheses "Ode to Joy" because that's what it actually is. You know. I feel
Right.
I'm pretty sure Meguro doesn't name his song, so someone else might have been responsible for that.
Well, Atlas as a whole are all responsible for it because every single one of them let it happen. I will say there's like 2 songs that I really liked, and I don't remember if it's in classic or not, but It's a Golden Show is what it's called. It's really good. I think that's the song that Glib was saying he liked as well.
There was a really good song at the end of Full Body, like on the last day you're in the bar, I think. If you saved the singer guy, he says like, I put my song on the jukebox, so enjoy it while it's here or whatever. And I didn't put any effort into looking it up, but it's actually really good. But I hated pretty much every other entry in this entire OST, if I'm honest.
I like the original music. I hated the other stuff. There's also a pun by, but it doesn't really matter because no one here knows the song. It's called George Washington, but it's Joji, and Joji is like song.
What?
Yeah, you have to know American history
Right,
to get the joke.
Who George Washington is? Who is that?
Neb's a good old boy. That's why he doesn't know. But
Well, folks, it happened again. The recorder broke a second time. This time we lost a little bit of a discussion about how the sound effects can be annoying at times, but we were able to save most of it, so we'll pick up with that. Sorry again.
So when you start Babel, you're going up, right? And it'll just say new record, new record, new record for every time you're going up the steps.
Up new steps, basically.
Yeah, because like the faster you do it, you get a new record. So every time you get the achievement, it says that. So when you're first starting it, it says it on every single block you go up, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, I was annoyed by Edge, but
Yeah.
that's a whole other level. I didn't do Babel. I didn't do Rapunzel.
Oh, I did a little bit of Rapunzel too. That was actually a little bit more fun and a lot more challenging than the rest of the game.
Well, that's why I didn't do it because it was more challenging. I did the first stage and I was like, that's like I got like physically drained from trying to do the puzzles. After a while, I'd have to take a break because I feel like my brain is overheating.
Yeah, I got about 20 in and I was like, I'll try this later. I'm going to try to get through the endings first and come back to this because the rest of the game is easy peasy compared to Rapunzel.
Yeah.
I wanted to do Rapunzel, but I felt like when I play these games, normally I feel compelled to do the story stuff, so I always forget to do side content.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think on Rapunzel unlocks more songs in the jukebox, right? Is that what it does? Or what does it do? What's the benefit of doing Rapunzel?
I think there's some story stuff.
I heard there's like more story context, I guess, but that's about it, really, as far as I know.
I did want to.
Yeah, I think I started doing it and I was like, this sucks. I'm just going to play the regular game.
All right. I mean, I don't.
You remember the part with Todd? And he's like, I bet the princess in Rapunzel looks hot. Like, what is he talking about?
Todd, like,
I'm going to commission art of her. What do her feet look like?
Oh my God. That was so insane.
I feel like some of the things were like jokes that they just translated differently because it just didn't work in like English. So they're just like, just make it a different.
Some of
And
the
it just made it weirder.
translation stuff that really drove me up the wall was how they translated Catherine with a K and C. Like they would like a scene. There's certain scenes that you can obviously tell are meant to be ambiguous about who he's talking about. Just put Catherine with a K there.
Yeah,
and you could tell it was supposed to be, ambiguous about who he was talking about, and it doesn't really work.
Yeah, because the whole thing is supposed to be him being in a haze. It's dumb, and that's kind of like a immersion breaking thing because what they do is they keep stressing how Vincent's always tired, Vincent's not thinking right, Vincent's not sure what's going on. But then, stuff like that, which would aid the immersion is like couldn't figure out another way to do it.
Yeah, they'd have to put like a question mark as the first character, but that would probably fucking break everything if they did that.
Also, like when you're on Catherine and C's route too, and you start on her route, Catherine and Kay's name will come up when he talks about getting married, right? And so you go on to her route, and all of a sudden he ends up calling her out of nowhere, and it doesn't really make sense because you're like, I thought he was gonna what? Yeah, it's supposed to be ambiguous, but they take it out, and it just doesn't make sense later.
Yeah. Also, just for clarity, they spell Catherine, what just to explain why it's ambiguous in Japanese, because they spell Catherine the exact same way the Japanese version.
Yeah.
And that's why it's ambiguous. Just so people
Casarino.
I don't know. It's the same letters though. Characters.
Right.
In saying that, I did want to talk about the art a bit, and when I mean art, I mean like the way it's portrayed, the animation, whatever. Like we can go on. We can start off with some highlights, I think. Because for me,
yeah, the new character Rin looks like the girl from Lazy Town.
Yeah,
that's good art.
Rin's design is pretty cute looking.
I like her design. I just hate that she's in this game.
I think she should have been pursued by photorealistic Robbie Rotten, but I mean, the fact they didn't want to do that is fine too.
Like, for me, there's a lot of like really nice stuff in the game. I really like the character like animations, especially you see it the most when it's Orlando and Vincent talking, because that's usually the one-on-ones. And like, you know, as they're talking, their faces are moving, and even though it's cartoony or anime, it looks cool. It looked good, and the fact that the game still looks good, however many years later, I think. And then I also like the character animations. In Full Body, they actually added more, so some of the emotes are a little more specific to whatever moment. Instead of doing a generalized shock reaction, they actually have custom things for each day. And it just looks better. I don't know, it just looks really nice.
Vincent also climbing up the blocks too in different ways is really, really nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like repetitive like when Catherine climbs up the blocks. It's
because you could tell that was not meant to be that important or something.
That's because she's unoriginal.
My favorite part was the church aesthetic. My favorite part was when you're in the confession booth. In the background, there's a painting of Jesus on the cross, and there's like a circle over the cross, so it's like makes a little the female sign. I don't know, sign for that. I don't know, Venus maybe.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
The female sign.
That little painting changes every level too. It's cool.
It does. I noticed that.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like nice, like even it's a small game because of how short it is, but I think that that it's not like time wasted. They actually put a lot into it to give it character, and I think it stands the test of time because Full Body doesn't like, it's not like an overhaul graphic, and it still looks good. Kind of like Nocturne, where it still looks good.
Yeah,
original.
You really only traverse two areas, which are the bar and the tower. And the tower, just the background changes. The foreground and all the blocks are the same.
The bar looks like a Denny's.
It does look like a Denny's.
What's the booths? The booths, I mean, booths are... I like booths. I like booth.
One of the things that I thought was like the only bad thing, like one of the things I thought was pretty arbitrary, is I hate how Vince walks in the bar. Like, it's such a stupid, like, wannabe Lupin walk.
Very dumb.
Like, just like stop. It looks so
he slouches and.
Yeah, his posture seems to get worse. I don't know if that's just.
I think it does.
Even middle school. Like, why are your hands in your pocket like that? Why are you walking like that?
It'd be fine.
I think that's a Japanese thing. That's a total, like, I've seen that before.
It's definitely supposed to look cool and mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like distraught and like tortured.
Yeah, well,
something wrong. Normal people don't walk like that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Vincent's like subhuman, so it makes
like cool and troubled. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. His arc was like really annoying for a while, like probably up until day 5. It was like a loop of the same annoying cycle of like he has these protracted like anime tier discussions where he's like, oh, ooh, ooh, and like the other person he's talking to thinks this is normal. Like he just gibbers and says nothing, and they're like, oh, okay, whatever. Talk to you later. Like that was their lunch they had with him. For like 4 days in a row, this happens to different people. And then finally he starts like sort of being slightly more lucid. And then by my ending, Valsell ending, the king ending, he like is like fully cogent and like has real sentences and talks to people.
I think it's supposed to be because he's developing like the law or chaos or neutral throughout, because then that's what dictates how he's gonna.
Yeah, because he's like indecisive thing, but it was still so annoying to see that. It was like
it is annoying.
It feels like padding the plot to a story because you're waiting on something else. You're like, oh, we have to have some kind of plot right now. Let's make him say, and then the other character doesn't follow up on this or think that's weird.
I kind of got the impression he was avoiding questions, and that's why he was just dodging everything people would say.
Yeah. Yeah, but you have lunch with your girlfriend 3 times a week, and you don't answer a single one of her questions, and you just go, and you just sweat the entire time while staring at her. Like it's
because
it's annoying.
That's why Catherine was right. Catherine with a K. Like there's a reason why she's so mad.
Yeah,
you gotta suck.
Well, she could follow up on any of that. She just goes, oh, whatever. It's like, just be like, no, tell what the hell is going on with you.
Well, she does say that
a lot. Like, yeah, she does. And one time she has to go to work. The other, Vincent runs out on her, and the other he makes up an excuse that his boss is there. So she does.
Oh, I did like that scene. That was an actual scene of real tension and not just bullshit, which I felt like most of the interactions were. The scene where the evil chaos succubus is at his house. See Catherine.
So dumb, bro. I hated that scene. I hated it.
Really?
At the end, it was hilarious.
I liked it. that was real tension, and you felt like there was stakes because, like, every time he goes to that gay ass tea cafe with Lothran, and she orders her stupid tea, and they sit in these big plush booths. What the hell is that place, by the way? That place blows. It sucks. Why would you ever go to that place? It's a good thing I didn't marry her.
That's why.
That scene was good.
All the scenes suck. Also, she lied about being pregnant. That's bad. Don't do that. So anyway,
yeah, she didn't know.
She lied. But we're at the apartment. We're at the apartment, and I thought that was a great scene because there's like actual tension, actual stakes. There's no stakes or no tension to her half-heartedly grilling him, and then him sweating and saying random stupid phrases. We should have had more of that.
I mean, Catherine with the C started going off on Catherine with the K. She was like, "Do you even have a baby in your ice cave?"
That rolled, yeah. The one where the nightmare where she stabbed him. I was like, hell yes.
That felt like an actual argument I could hear in real life.
I've been in that situation in real life. I know what that's like.
Vincent?
Yeah. No, I wasn't the Vincent, but
you were
I've seen it happen.
One of my favorite parts of that fight was when before, like, Catherine, when you first were introduced to her, they show her being doting by giving Vincent 2 sugars right in his coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I thought that was psychotic and controlling, honestly. Go on.
But she's doing it because she knows him really well, and she knows he doesn't like stuff, right? But when they were getting into that fight, Catherine the C picks a fight, but it's like, oh, you like 2 sugars in your coffee, right?
Oh, that's right.
And
you're right.
She does it on purpose, and it's just like, oh,
to trigger her. Yeah.
That face Catherine came in. I was like,
Catherine of the Sea is a real motherfucker.
She deserves to go to hell, which I guess good thing she lives there.
She is a demon. Yeah. I mean,
that's true.
Which, by the way, was anyone surprised the first time? If you weren't, I had no spoilers about Catherine ever, and I immediately suspected Catherine with a C of being a succubus. Literally,
is a succubus. It's literal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first night that happened, I was like, that's weird that he doesn't remember. But we'll see what happens. And the second time it happened, I was like, okay, no other characters interact with her. This keeps happening. And then it happens like 3 times after that. It's like, all right, this is supernatural. This isn't normal.
Well, if you think about it, like, succubuses are like the demons that like explain nocturnal emissions, right? If you think about it, like at the end of every boss fight, the light flashes out the door and kills the boss.
Are you saying he comes every time he wins? This is the worst game theory ever.
Think about it, bro.
Put Glib on Game Theory YouTube. Oh my god, what is this? Why did you post this?
I'm looking at the Catherine wiki because it's like the best Wikipedia I've ever and wiki I've seen in a long time. And for some reason, the Catherine page is very bottom. This because as you're playing the game, you know, you can get pictures of either Catherine.
You get horny pictures from the various Catherines you're romancing.
Yeah, and apparently, I mean, I already knew this, but yeah, there's this one. They forgot to draw the other toe. She is what is it called?
There's a bathtub shot. By the way, how did this bitch take this picture? This is going to be a thumbnail for sure.
She kicked the thing.
This is going to be a thumbnail for sure. It's a picture of Catherine McKay Lothran lounging, her arm behind her head, other arm in the bubble bath. Camera is still getting all that in frame. No idea how, because this bathtub definitely goes wall-to-wall tile. Does she have a suction cup on her phone to mount it to get that selfie from 6 feet away?
Maybe she just like.
This is also a huge tub because she's tall. She's like 5'8", 5'9".
Well, she's actually good with her money, unlike Vincent.
Yeah, she has a good job.
So anyway, in this photograph, Catherine K has 4 toes.
She has photos too. Yeah. I'm mad, bro.
So she has bad genetics. If you chose her, you're having a troglodyte baby. It's gonna be a butt baby.
I just think it's funny because in the trivia for this, it says in one of Catherine's photos, inexplicably only has 4 toes. So either it's an animation goof or she has oligodactyl or whatever. And I'm like, why? Who looked this up?
Those are the 2 equal chances. Either they forgot to put in a 5th toe, or they want to imply she has a genetic disease of some kind.
But she's the office manager, by the way. I think she works at the same place as the psycho that.
She works at the same place as Todd, I think. Todd.
Yeah, so she's doing good. I think. Well, I don't know how much, but I assume quite a bit. Compared, if they
kind of mentioned that the whole town is kind of a dead end place. So I mean, probably as good as it can get in a dead end town.
It doesn't make any sense though. They talk about that like someone talks about Catherine with a C, Chaos Rin, being like, oh, a dame like that wouldn't come through this town. But then like it's incongruent because it's like, why does Vincent have to live in a 400 square foot closet? If it's a dead end town where nothing's going on and it sucks, why does he have to do that?
Apparently, she only
drinks like a fish.
Yeah, he drinks eating rotisserie sushi.
But again, if he lives in if this is Birmingham or something, you know, like you can get one of those drinks for like $250, and your rents for a 400 square apartment's like $150 a month or something.
But he clearly lives
in out here ordering rum and Coke and gin.
And he's a software dev in one of those towns. Come on, man.
He was a code guy or whatever.
That's what software developers are, asshole.
Sorry, I don't. All I know is one.
Yeah, you actually encountered a computer science bro, so maybe check your privilege.
So this is how much she makes a month.
She makes $4,000 a month. That's pretty good. $3,500. That's not very good. I make more than that, but
I rescind what I was saying. Yeah, because
this is also 10 years ago.
That might be enough not to live in a closet.
I don't know. What was Vincent's job again?
Software.
He's a software guy. He should make plenty. Okay, amount.
Software. But regardless, I did want you to talk about the Vincent ending because you're the only one that did.
Yeah, I went the Valsa ending. So as we talked about, there's a bunch of endings for all the women in the game. Women.
Why'd you emphasize it that way?
I went for the best ending, which is if you just fuck up the entire time and then you try to go for the Ren ending to be gay, but then you can't even do that correctly. You just get the ending where no women like you, which is cool. And I think there's 2 versions. I didn't read anything about the other one. But there's freedom ending, good or something, and true, which I got true, I believe, because he was pretty happy. In the true freedom ending, you break out of the dream, the final challenge, you've beaten the boss, who we haven't even talked about, but the bartender is the main bad guy for whatever reason.
Because he wears sunglasses indoors.
Which is
that are evil.
kind of cool.
That's
a cool thing. It's a red flag, but maybe he's blind. You don't know. Anyway. Yeah, that's for LA. So we're not even going to talk about that. So, freedom ending, you break out of the dream, and Vincent becomes very lucid, very clear-headed. He knows what he wants. He talks to the antagonist at the bar, and he's like, "Look, man, maybe I don't need to be in a relationship right now because you're supposed to know what you want when you get married and pass down your genes, but I don't know if I want to do that right now because I don't know. It's all very confusing. Everyone has all this weird shit going on." So what he chooses to do is he coerces money out of the boss, the bartender, and then bets it on wrestling and then hangs out with his friends drinking.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that.
Oh, you didn't get the ending.
That sounds so corny, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's not the real. That's the bad.
Is that not the true
No,
ending?
he wins the bet and the true ending, and he actually buys a ticket to go into space.
Yeah,
Maybe that happened. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
It's like, if you're not living life, doing what you want, what's the point, or something like that.
yeah. But what I was gonna say is, I looked up how much Vincent earns, and even if he lives in Birmingham, Alabama, he still makes at least $94,000 a year. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
It's pretty good.
That's insane. It's okay, but also that's $94K in Birmingham, bro.
I don't know.
Look up how much an apartment costs there.
I don't know if he's that good of a software.
Yeah, he's probably the low end, to be honest. But even $48,000 a year is not.
48 is fine in Alabama.
Yeah, in Alabama, in
easy.
You couldn't live alone in Los Angeles. 48. Yeah, but anyway, I think it's interesting that he struggles with. I mean, to me, it's all implicit that he just struggles with money management.
He struggles with everything. He's a mess.
That's part of it, yeah, definitely.
An indecisive mess who can't make a decision because he's a coward.
Yeah, exactly. I think that that's the main reason why I disliked him so much is because when it comes down to it, he's like all the things I hate. I hate people who are indecisive. I hate people who are bad, and I hate people who cheat. I hate people who lie a lot. He does all of those things all the time.
I love lying. It's fun.
I can tell.
I wouldn't mind that he cheated, but like the fact that he kept it going on for like a whole week, like, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna write that.
At first, I wasn't sure that. To be fair, at first I wasn't sure that like it was like actually still the effect of the magic or whatever. Like he was like he literally couldn't like not do it. But I'm not
I looked it up for full body. The true freedom ending is what I described.
Oh, I
googled it.
That's bad then. I like the.
Okay, I think maybe I might have skipped it, but it appears he might actually go to space. Yeah, a few days later. Okay, I think I just skipped that.
Oh.
I think I left the TV because I thought it was over.
Glib, really quickly. If your spouse cheated.
Oh, it's after the credits. That's what it is. Okay, so I'm watching this thing. So everything I described happened, and then after the credits, he goes to space because he won. But that's not revealed because the credits started rolling, and I was like, okay, I guess it's over. Bye.
They all have after credit scenes.
Well, okay. What is this? The fucking Avengers? What, am I going to watch after the credits? Yeah. Is there going to be a Catherine 2? No, because this game blows.
This bombed pretty hard.
It was a fun game. Yeah. What the hell are you doing with the after credit scene? So I did get the true feeling ending. Don't let anyone tell you what it was.
If your significant other cheated on you, you'd be okay with it. I have it down in your notes.
No, not what I said. Not what I said. No, not blame me.
I don't mind.
It was like if it's her choice, it's I'm okay with that. It's fine.
It is not good that he cheated. My point is, I would not have minded so much if he had not kept it on for a whole week and then.
So that she could cheat on you once is what you're saying.
But one of the things about cheating with them is, I like how it played into Vincent's paranoia about when he's not sure who's calling him, threatening him. Steve.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And it felt like I don't know. It was,
I feel like it sort of all coalesced like too late. I feel like the first like 4 days, it doesn't mount as well. It's just sort of you're reliving the same cycle. But then, like on that fifth day, it just
It's
slaps.
just like him
Like
cheating for no
it
reason.
just goes into like overdrive. It's like the guy calls, and then Catherine starts to disappear with the sea, and then all this crazy shit happens. But like previous to that, it's like I don't get the build up. I don't get like the
Yeah, the
tension.
pacing is a
It's
little
like
off for sure.
yeah, they need to introduce some kind of hallucinations, or he does something really wrong and bad, or thinks he does that. I don't know, something like that to put in like the doubt or the paranoia better.
I think the paranoia is called because it gives him an opportunity to like shift the blame to Catherine, which he does try to do, and then he pulls back from when he realizes, this is actually ridiculous, and I'm just trying to avoid a responsibility kind of thing. But I thought that was like a realistic thing to where he's just being paranoid and doing his best to like shove off responsibility for his actions. He's looking for an out.
Yeah.
Which also, did he do anything if it was just a ghost that he fucked, which he may not have even fucked?
That was so insane to me. That was his first excuse. Like, you can't really say this to someone.
I mean, you can. She was a ghost.
He says it in the Catherine 2 ending.
Says it to the boss too.
And Catherine's like, yeah. What did she say? I forgot what she said about it.
She's like, I ain't afraid of no ghost.
She's like, was she Catholic or Protestant?
Speaking of that, the thing I liked about the boss is how casual he was. I like that. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
All right.
Even after he lost, he was still friends. Like he wasn't like I don't want to say friends, but he was like cool with him still.
That's really weird. That after the ending, he shows up and he's like still managing the bar, but he's like a god that gives people evil dreams that kill them. It's like, is he gonna not do that anymore?
Yeah, that was one of the things. I mean, I don't know about your route, but in my route, that was one of the things.
In True Freedom, he just is like, I promise not to give you dreams anymore. He doesn't promise to not ever give anyone dreams anymore.
Oh yeah, in law, that's a condition in law. He says if I win, you're not going to do it again.
To him, though, did he say to everyone?
He said that one.
Yeah,
I guess Vincent doesn't give a fuck.
I don't know about your ending, but I know my.
Yeah, I remember that too. He says like to get everyone out of the dreams or something.
Well, I mean, it's like clear that like everyone got a good night's sleep because like Orlando and Johnny and all those characters are all like well rested the next day. But in the True Freedom ending, I don't think he explicitly says, "Don't do this ever again to anyone." He just says, "Don't do it to me anymore," which is pretty cool. It's like, I don't care if you eugenics select who's going to be a perfect mate. And what was even the motivation of that? That's so weird. If you cheat, you should die or something. If you cheat, though, it wasn't just cheaters. Are people who are like unfaithful in other regards or whatever. Yeah.
I looked this up because Babel was kind of hard. Well, Ishtar actually says it's an excuse, and she was just looking for a new partner because Doomseed is a cheating bastard. And she implies it's the player that she's interested in and not Vincent.
Oh yeah, she does break the fourth wall.
Yeah,
really weird.
Wait, is this the red-haired character?
Yeah, that's Ishtar, Trish.
With the afro.
That's cute. Okay,
and
I didn't get that.
He's married to Doomseed, who is cheating on everyone. He really likes Erica, probably because she has red hair.
Interesting. I didn't notice any of that or caring about any of it. I forgot that she existed because I started this game like 2 months ago, and then no one ever got it done, so we're waiting. And then I
got it done.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I thought, because Lindsay and Martha.
It was the holidays that happened. I was joking.
Because like in terms of like Doomseed, like Lindsay and Martha, they talk about how there's a human that climbed the wall or climbed the thing before and survived. And he was given the world and godhood or whatever. So I assumed that she was talking about the boss, what she was, but that's what I thought, because why would they even tell me that story? You know? So that's what I think. Anyways, I think that's
I think. Well, they tell you that too. Like he asked her out, the little kid voice or whatever he actually is in the confessionals. He's like, he's like, oh yeah, this guy you're about to face, you've seen him before. He beat us and he became one of us. A million years ago, he climbed the wall and he became a god like us. So yeah, they tell you though, straight up.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Yeah, I just played it recently, so I know. I know the ending. I mean,
Yeah, Ishtar also or Trish, she just spells out the entire theme of whatever route you just finished.
yeah, I did not like that.
Hated
So for
The funniest thing to me is that when she first pops up at the end, she says, "Wasn't this game great? The developers are amazing." And then she's
she goes I think she specifically says like, what did you think about the themes and topics that the developers and writers masterfully crafted into this game? And it's like, I guess this is ironic, but this sucks. Don't give me that question.
Was it supposed to be ironic? I thought it was
I
serious.
also hate her redesign in full body.
The way the delivery of the lines is very like tongue in cheek to me.
It's supposed to be tongue in cheek, but it's annoying.
Yeah, the whole thing is supposed to be a joke, I think, but it's still dumb and annoying.
Because she gets two dumb big balls in full body.
Yeah, her haircut sucks. Don't wear your hair like that, ladies.
Why did they change her hair in full body? Thought it was supposed to look like the female symbol. That's why they gave her the big hair.
That's what I thought too.
Why did they change it? It doesn't make sense.
Well, now she looks like a big.
Well, now because that symbolizes Rin.
Yeah, well, she looked like a gigantic balls and testicle balls. She just lays down completely flat with her arms at her sides.
Exactly. Yeah. She should not T pose, but like lowercase L pose.
I also like
arms at her sides.
I love that I heard you do the L pose.
I needed to imagine the letter I was talking about because I almost said I, and I was like, but there's two I's. I was like, fuck, which one is it?
I also like the black suit more than her disco outfit and full body.
Yeah. I think
the disco outfit I don't really like.
Yeah, I think they're trying to lean into that idea, but
I hate the. Can we make this the thumbnail? Just those two opposed to each other, the verses, like Street Fighter 4 versus.
Also,
it's gonna be a triple.
The worst part of her new design is the stupid strand of hair. It's just such a stupid like addition. They're like, how can we make her unique? Oh, I know. Let's just give her one Z going down her face.
Awesome afro wasn't enough, apparently.
Yeah,
I actually really do like the afro, though.
Actual hair.
It is. Yeah.
The single afro intimidates me greatly. The reason is, if you really look at this, it grows out of the side of her face. So like her sideburns grow into an afro.
No, she's just grooming it well. You can groom it well. Do that.
No, it doesn't do that.
Okay, well, I mean, you clearly can't grow an afro, Whitey.
Fake does not crown the face like this. That's insane. Look at that.
Oh, they changed her necklace in full body. It looks like, because in the old version it's like the Venus symbol, and this one it's like whatever. I can't tell what it is.
I gotta zoom in on her cleavage to find it.
You're like, don't mind if I
together.
do. I'm doing
more like
research.
A valley.
Don't mind if I do.
It's like a fucked up Ankh, but that's probably a real symbol of some kind. I don't know.
Well, because her other one is like very obvious.
By the way, I don't know if we specified this. There's a character at the beginning and the end of the game that introduces the game in like a movie form.
Narrator?
Yeah,
but she doesn't narrate the whole game though, because another guy narrates all the levels and stuff. So
the important thing to note is that the way they frame Catherine is as if it's a show. Which is why the theme is called like it's a golden show.
But they only at the beginning and the end though.
Yeah,
like the very beginning.
Trish is like the host and the narrator is the narrator.
Yeah. They just don't do it strong enough for it to make sense. Which is a shame because it's only like
they should have had her.
Game was.
Yeah, they should have had her just be the narrator the whole time.
No, because that's usually because it's based on a show that Hashino what's his name? Yeah, Hashino used to watch as a kid or something. And even the opening is like a 1-for-1 recreation thing he used to watch. So
yes, it struck me as that. I understand the inspiration, but I'm saying if they wanted to actually do this correctly, where you remember that this character existed after playing it for 20 hours, maybe have something. But yes, if the idea was instead fuck having a character that people remember after 20 hours, instead I want to recreate this weird childlike fantasy, absolutely understand. Makes sense.
So I guess we're at the part where we should talk about like how we're gonna rate it, because people don't really care about the like 2 hours of opinions. They just want to hear us break it down in simplest terms.
Yeah, people typically, the metrics say that everyone skips to the end just to hear our hard-hitting ratings.
Yep.
For instance, Rido 1 out of 10, because it's the first one.
Yes. So I guess what I'm asking you guys is, what would you rate this game based on everything we talked about and more? Glib, you first.
Yeah, Glib goes first.
Probably like 8, maybe 8 out of 10.
Whoa.
Probably.
That's pretty high.
You know
I'm
why? Because it
surprised.
had a confessional and it didn't say anything bad about Catholics raping children. So that's probably why he gave it a high score.
Is that true?
He gave it a high score because he would forgive his wife if she cheated on him just once. Just once.
Just Glib things.
What about you, Spider?
I have to pick a number.
Yeah, you have to break it down. Yeah.
4 out of 10, or 4. No, not 4 out of
Whoa.
4 out of 5.
Hello?
There you go.
Oh,
No,
okay,
out of
okay.
10.
So
Out of 10.
That's an
So
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, I like a lot of the
7.5.
characters in this.
Mhm.
What is it? Vincent, even though he's a piece of shit. Erica, because she's really supportive, and I like the banter she has with everyone, and kind of just
Mhm.
doesn't let them get away with their bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
Some of the side characters like Archie and the guy whose name I still cannot remember, the blonde guy, Vincent's
Daniel?
childhood classmate.
Daniel, I think.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. Even Catherine herself is really interesting too, even though she's kind of not presented in. She's presented as pretty harsh, but she's sympathetic.
I think so too. I would give this like a 7 out of 10 because, like, for everything that I liked about it, I do like the characterization. I think that they make. I mean, just because you dislike Vincent, that's kind of a testament to how well he's written. Because to me, there's enough dimension there for you to like understand this is not a good guy, and also be like, but he does feel like more than just a flat character, which Rin unfortunately is a very flat in multiple ways.
Yeah, I
But,
felt Catherine with the C was pretty flat too.
Yeah, and I've never gotten the Catherine with the C endings, so I don't know if like, well, I mean, besides the first playthrough, but I don't remember.
Oh, I got it.
What does she do besides being a succubus? You just live with her and her like sisters or something.
You turn into a demon, you go to hell and have a harem, and they're like making out while sitting on top of her dad.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's all I remember.
Damn.
Yeah.
And this is the horny boy ending.
Yeah, if you answer all her phone calls and stuff, there's like one where she is screaming at her dad on the phone while talking to you.
Huh.
And she's like, "Shut up, daddy." And it's like, this is really weird. And she just hangs up, and then you're just left there in silence, like, what the fuck?
Which is cool. I think that's kind of like, if they did more stuff to kind of build her up, I think I would have liked her more. But yeah, her Rin is really bad. Everyone else is pretty good. Even the cop who's stupidly like, opens up bad. I think
Hey, Cap.
one of the things that brings it down for me is the way that it only provides like a very specific worldview. Like everyone has a very similar perspective besides Toby, and they're like super pessimistic and super like neutered by the world, and they just have negative perception of what relationships are and stuff. It's really weird. It's weirdly negative, and then when there's people who do think of relationships positively, they give them this stupid like over positive vibes. There was this couple that's like, oh, let's celebrate our first month together, and it's like, really, who does that besides like teenagers? I've never heard of a 30-year-old guy go, Yeah, we've been together for a month. Let's have our month
1 month anniversary. That's
Yeah.
like a sober guy thing.
If you talk
That's like
if you talk to that guy again, he actually complains because he doesn't have enough money because she wants to spend a bunch of money they don't have.
Oh, that's why she was like, "Oh, I'll cook my famous burger."
Yeah,
Wait, no, he does the opposite though. In that scene, he talks about taking her out.
yeah. They kind of just reconcile by meeting halfway instead of being
still spending money.
yeah, still spending money but not a fortune.
Got it.
SMH.
But I feel like if there was more nuance in that regards, like maybe have characters who are in relationships and loving it and not be so stupid about it, because then it would be more, I guess, holistic. And then also, even though I liked the gameplay a lot and I felt that it was fair, so that's great. Just don't like the kind of gameplay.
Puzzles are awesome. I love
Word
the
puzzles are awesome. Word puzzles are great. Let's play, make a word puzzle version of Catherine. Catherine 2 can be a bunch of words.
I'm up
Next
for that.
Mega Test episode, Words with Friends.
Words with friends. They have many words.
I guess I'll give mine. I'm gonna give it like 6.5 to 7 on like a true 10-point scale, not some bullshit.
Yeah, true 10 point. 10 being
Yeah,
impossible.
I assume that's what we're all doing.
Yeah, we're all normal.
Yeah, like 6.5 to 7. My griefs were some of the gameplay was bad. Like Clock Tower sucked. Specifically, Clock Tower Part 3, maybe. There are parts of the game where there is literally a single solution to the puzzle, which is bad. I don't like that.
Is it the one with the 3 stacks that you have to?
It's the one where you have to climb down the ledge and climb around. It's all like, it's almost all immovable blocks. You have to climb down and then go to the other side of this pillar and then go up and go back around the other side. It's very irritating that was the only way to solve the puzzle. Very irritating.
I might have found a different way to get around it.
Or maybe you just thought of it first. I don't know. I didn't like it. I had to think about it, and I was just like, "Oh, this is the way they want me to get around this." And as soon as I memorized that pattern, I breezed through the rest of the level, and I was like, "It's stupid because I was never required to do that before, and now I'm required to do it for these like entire level." I thought that was bad. I thought it was stupid. I thought the escort quest was really annoying. I thought that the first 4 days were a waste. I think they could have done a lot more to beef up the pacing and put more peaks and valleys for the stress and weird shit that's going on. But it's just like repetitive garbage for half the game until the second half. Then it ramped up. That's what I loved. I loved questioning the sanity, realizing that there's weird shit going on. The bartender's a demon or something, or god, or whatever the hell he was.
Let's not forget his name is Mutton.
His name is Edward Mutton or whatever, which is just
Thomas.
Sure,
Mutton.
Tom, whatever. Okay.
The word mutton is a funny word.
It's also sheep meat. That's what the word is. It's like, okay, why is his name Mutton? And then what, did he design everything around sheep because of that? What an asshole. Anyway, it was. Other than that, it was enjoyable. I liked the aesthetic. I liked walking around the bar. I liked the facts. So every time you finish a drink, you get a little fact.
I like that a lot too. Actually, I should have brought that.
I was just talking about this before we started recording this. I was playing some Yakuza. I like how they have little facts about the drinks when you order one. That's great. All that stuff is wonderful.
We got to get some lamb. Maybe we'll do a part 2 where we just
some lamb lollipops.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I don't know. 6.5 to 7. Didn't hate it. I liked it. Way better than fucking Last Bible or whatever the hell else we played. If
we've had a lot of low points.
Rido, yeah.
Oh, but
it sounds like I'm being harsh with 6.5 and 7, but I actually like this game. I like playing it.
Yeah, to be like for me, like
it's not a great game. You know, it's not incredible.
Yeah,
it's not as good as Doom.
To me, if it slides under like 5, then it becomes like a bad game, or at least mediocre. Then once it gets to like 3 or something, it's like
yeah. I mean, I could rate a game 5 and still think it's cool.
Anything about 5 is good to me.
Yeah,
sure, yeah.
And I don't rate anything at 10. So a good 8 would be like strange.
The only 10 game is like the original Streets of Rage, obviously.
Their favorites.
Planescape Torment.
We're gonna make a 10 just to be biased.
No,
Yeah.
I can't even think of a game that I'd rate like even because all the ones that I like a lot have like some pretty like observable flaws.
Yeah, but if you're gonna make a 10, if you never make a 10, just put it as your favorite list. Honestly, even with all the flaws.
Well, here's the thing: Strange Journey would be a 10 if it wasn't on a Nintendo system.
Yeah,
That-
it would have been.
Switch baby's blown out.
I had to.
We had to do it. We have to do it every episode.
But
We're being
240p
paid by
screen.
Sega.
Sorry, what was that?
I said that 240p screen.
Yeah, it's so awful, and you gotta love when even Kaneko has to like somewhat make a sly remark where he talks about how they only did it first person and they did all those things because they had to work with all the weakness of the console, but they don't say weak, they just like say constraints because it's the nice way of saying that it's a bad
Yeah.
console.
And he clarifies that he's not talking shit about the system too.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
It's like, oh, just how technology is a Nintendo, please. But also, can we make a still of this ACAB GIF? Can we make that in the thumbnail too, please?
And have the police officer there. I killed
Streets
my
of Rage
wife.
1. Yeah, with like a Ghostbusters anti-sign. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That
I know
thing?
you're talking about. All right. So that's
This is gonna be a lot of work for you.
What are we gonna play
Please
next?
put
Or
that-
maybe we can talk about that
I don't
after.
know. Well, do you want to do? We have a couple questions. We can do like 3 or 4
Oh,
questions.
questions! I forgot all about that.
Oh, we didn't
We
rank
have like 9 or 10,
What was
but
that?
there's only 2 or 3 good ones.
Questions
what did you
on
say, Glib?
Spoilercast?
we didn't rank it yet. Remember, you said we're gonna do a thing where we rank all the games we played. So far?
We'll do that
We do
a time where I remember to do that.
Yeah, let's like actually take inventory of what we've even talked about. First.
I decided that it might make sense for people to ask questions about the game because I don't know, maybe there's some things that they don't know or some things they want to like interesting thought experiments or something. I don't know. And we got a couple of interesting ones, I think, but we got a lot of bad ones. Pretty
Sure, I'll do like 3.
Yeah.
So
Try not to get the ones where we
Yes.
answered the question already because there's a lot that we already answered.
yeah, like this one. This guy is like, "What do you think about escort mission?" I think we all think it was bad. I
Terrible.
thought it was fine because it had his wife in it, but you know, whatever.
I like Catherine too.
I don't have one question first of all.
I like Catherine with a K
Yeah.
as well more than actual.
I mean, this one, I feel like this is a good question because we hate on it so much. But best track off the OST by David Cass JRPGs.
It's a golden show. That's the
Is that the
I said
theme?
mine.
I literally don't know.
yeah, that's the main song. It's the song.
Okay.
The song that Glib said he liked in the beginning. That's
Okay. For me, it's the one that the guy, I think I mentioned it, the guy,
The
who's the
Hallelujah.
singer. No. No. I'm not glib. No, it's the one that's like, it's like you save the singer on the final day and he puts on a song on the jukebox. I have no idea what it's called. It ruled though. It was really good.
yeah. So basically, you were a jukebox hero.
Yes. Sure.
Spider, any song or you don't really know them?
I don't know the songs.
They're all kind of.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of these questions blow. Hold on. That might be it. I mean, here's a joke one. Someone wrote in asking, why won't Catherine marry me?
Because she's fictional.
Yeah, I think that's probably why. I don't know why you'd expect a fictional character to marry you.
Oh, it's because
That's not. There's no legal basis for that happening. I don't know why.
she's infertile because she only has 4 toes.
Yeah, little known fact, she actually miscarried during the course of the game, but they didn't put that in there. It's too controversial. Oh, no, here's a question. SMT Network writes in asking, who would you cast in a live-action Catherine adaptation? Glib, you know about actors. Go first.
I don't know any actors.
Okay, Spider, you go first.
I don't know any
Uh,
actors. I don't watch movies.
Here's an example. He says Adam Driver would be a good Vincent. He wouldn't.
Let me look up who Adam Driver is.
He's Darth Vader from the new Star Wars.
Just because he has long hair, that's
I haven't seen the new Star Wars.
He's not actually Darth Vader. He's the shittier version. Of
yeah.
him.
He's here, when I post the picture, you're gonna be like, oh, because he has.
And he talks like this the whole time. He sounds like the guy from No Country for Old Men, sort of.
I don't know. Adam Driver doesn't even look 30 yet, is he?
Oh, him.
It's just the
I
hair,
don't think
really.
I've
He
ever
doesn't
seen
look like
him in anything.
It's because he's in all bad movies only. It's like
No,
calling
he's
card.
he's in a good film called it's the one with Daniel Craig and
So it's an action movie.
Channing Tatum. No, well, it's like a heist movie.
Yeah. And,
Logan Lucky, is he in that?
what's it called?
I think he's in Logan Lucky, I believe. Let me look.
No, I'm looking at his discology, whatever it's called. Oh, he's in Logan Lucky. He plays Logan.
Aha, I was correct. He was the main character.
Well,
Sort
sounds
of.
like a
I don't
bad
know.
movie.
No, it's a great movie.
Steven
It's
Soderbergh?
it's like a redneck heist film. Quite good. I would recommend it. We'll go watch Logan Lucky. He would not be good as Vincent, though. It has to be someone really neurotic. I'm thinking more Steve Buscemi. What do you think about that?
I kind of love that.
Imagine him in the booth, and like the woman across from him is like, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god. I kind of want.
Imagine it's like, I don't know, some hot young actress who's like a basic hot young actress who could be like Lothrin. Let's brainstorm this.
Yep, you got the hair too. Steve Buscemi, that's gonna be the thumbnail for the video.
put him in there for sure.
Disgusting.
What
What's a female
Steve Buscemi's
actress?
actually
Someone
cool.
tell me.
can't think of anything anyone that would actually.
How about Anya Joy Taylor? She's from
Who?
she's from Split. She's from I'm surprised you haven't
she's
watched
the
this.
alien in Split. Or whatever.
She's the alien in Split. She's
Or
from
whatever, whoever she is.
She's in The Witch. She's in
She
Gambit.
is Vavitch.
Yeah.
Steve Vavitch.
So she's Lothrin,
She's
and
pretty
she's
good at
like,
playing.
She cannot be Lothrin. She's too young looking. And
no, she's very cold. She could be very cold, but that's what's hilarious. She looks really young, but then there's Steve Buscemi that looks like 80 across from him.
You can get what's her name? The girl that plays Joker's wife, Harley Quinn. You can get that girl to be.
Who's the Margot Robbie?
Yeah, Margot Robbie.
Eh.
What?
She could be Catherine with a C.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Catherine with the C.
Okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah,
Not with
That
the
would-
K.
yeah.
She doesn't have the
No.
that like I'm in charge look. You know what I
I'd
mean?
rather see
right.
like Emma Stone be a succubus, honestly.
Oh, Emma Stone would be a funny. Yeah, I kind of like that too.
That would be good. She's been blonde. Yeah, she could be good. She's not as buxom though. She needs to be a little buxom.
Stop saying
You know.
buxom. I don't like you saying buxom.
I'm chopping out a cigar and I was like, she's gotta have titties, son. She's gotta be big. But about what we're talking about, it, Rin should be Dolph Lundgren for sure. I think would be
I don't know
good.
who that is. I don't want to look it up.
Go ahead and look up
Actress?
Dolph Lundgren. What's
Is that
that?
the Lazy Town actress?
Nope, it's not.
It's the guy from it's the guy from the boxing movie.
Yeah, he's from Rocky 3. You're right.
Oh, you pick like the manliest guy. Okay, that's the joke. I get it.
That is the joke. You're right. Go ahead and post a picture of him in chess and whatever stuff. But
I think I'm gonna like Photoshop this as the thumbnail. Catherine the movie.
then we could have Boss be Jack Nicholson. That would be good, I think.
Oh yeah, and it would tie into the theming of referencing the
Yeah, but it would be bad because he's really fat and like incoherent now. So like casting him in live action would be horrible. Like, well, Vincent, I don't know what you're doing. He would just start talking about the Lakers or something for 40 minutes.
It's crazy.
He looks like
that
shit
work.
now.
I mean, I'm finding images that work with like every character because they look vaguely like him. Sunglasses, just like.
Yeah, like how Lundgren looks like Ren. Imagine Dolph Lundgren in that stupid sundress she wears.
It's not. Isn't it like a sailor suit or something? I don't know.
It's something dumb. It's stupid. Anyway, so that's our casting. Paramount, if you want to get back to us, we'll float a treatment by you. We'll do a write-up.
We don't have Catherine with the. It's fine.
We got everyone. We'll
Emma
figure out the tertiary characters. Emma Stone will be Erica.
Emma Stone could be all the women.
Yeah, there we go. We can make it an Eddie Murphy situation.
Yeah, that'd be
A,
funny.
a Norbert type deal. All right, enough cinematic jokes. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
No
So
one
all in all-
asked anything about the plot or characters or anything?
Well, actually, so the guy who asked the Oscar mission, I did miss this. A Gordonian kid writes in and he asks, "How did you feel about Boss when Vincent confronts him? I love how incompetent he is in dealing with one sleep-deprived man." I guess does it depend on the endings? Because I know in the true ending, Vincent totally alphaed the shit out of him, and he coerced him out of some sum of money, which he I guess uses to go to space. Which also, like, what does he do up there? Does he convince Jeff Bezos to give him money or something?
I think it's just his
I don't
dream
know.
to go to space because he has like this giant space poster in his bedroom.
Yeah, I did notice that, but it's like, what material conditions change from that? You know?
I think it was just his dream to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good writing. That's cool. Anyway, so that's what happens in the true ending. What about the other endings?
And in the one I did, Catherine with a K, there was 2 parts apparently because you said in yours he doesn't tell everyone to stop the whole thing. He said you stopped for him, but it also
I think it's implied
made
in
a
mine.
deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're like you said. There's no clear. It's weird that he's like, "Don't give me nightmares anymore," and he's like, "I won't," but everyone else seems cool. So I don't know. Go on.
The bigger part of the true Catherine with a K route is that he makes him plan a date with Catherine with a K because when she breaks up with him, they can't meet anymore. So he needs him to set up a date for him.
What? How does he have her number? Or is he just a god? So
Well, he doesn't.
It's a rom-com. Yeah, it's like
He doesn't. He doesn't do it personally. He asks Orlando to do it, and Orlando sets it up for him.
Yeah,
which is kind of dumb
What?
because really he didn't have to ask him at all.
He
then.
asked the
could just ask
boss to
Orlando.
ask his best friend to go talk to his bitch.
No, he didn't ask the boss to ask Orlando. He asked the boss to set it up, and the boss asked Orlando, I guess.
That's incredibly stupid.
Yeah, because really he didn't have to ask him at all. He just asked
Yeah.
Orlando. Like he didn't. Really
And
know
also,
him at all.
in my ending of the True Freedom, Johnny, the extremely Japanese man, he moves in on Catherine McKay literally
Yes,
24 hours after she dumps me, which is
It's disgusting.
honestly fucked up.
I saw that coming.
yeah, crap.
I saw that coming in the
I thought they were already
bro.
cheating. I thought that's what that was, but they weren't even. He was just like inselling himself. That's actually my biggest regret about this ending because I couldn't cuck him more. I wished I could have cucked him more somehow.
Actually, something that would have been cool in Catherine too would be like to see him try to date Catherine. And
See him be miserable. He's like, I want to kill myself. This bitch is so frigid and evil.
well, because the thing that you learn through the story is like he basically idolizes her or deifies her in a weird way, where he thinks about the idea of dating her like to the point where it's not realistic. And I think that
Yeah, that is super unhealthy. That would be cool to explore that more and be like, well, you got what you wanted. What's it like? It's like it's the worst. It's bad. It's really bad.
The boss in
Cool,
that
man.
true ending too. He shows up. Everybody in the bar finds out he's a supernatural being because Vincent has to convince them that Catherine of the Sea doesn't exist. So they all learn
really?
their true identity. Yeah.
In full body, the one I did, he doesn't really. I don't think he really. I think he keeps that under wraps. Mine.
In my ending, the only person to find out was Erica, and I think I don't think she believed it either, though. I think she just kind of assumed it was lying. But she was there for the conversation, though.
Should they find out? It's been like a month and a half since I played that ending, though.
yeah, we should have like did this a month ago. I think.
For me, when they walk in, they lie about it, and so because what happens is it's him and Erica talking to the boss, and then in the middle of the conversation, the rest of the gang walks in, and they lie.
Yes,
to him and say
yeah.
it's nothing.
Okay, now you're talking about
takes out
That's
the-
pre-ending though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Erica knows for sure
Yeah.
that some weird shit is going on, but she's also dumb. So
I don't think Erica believes it. I mean, she heard it, but I don't think she believed it.
yeah, but
His
like
glasses off though, doesn't he? For her.
I think so.
She thought it was weird. Right? Because remember, after the conversation, she's like, "Are you guys serious?" And he says, "We're just playing around."
No, but
I
I think he says that to the rest of the boys though, because the boys come in and he's like choking out the boss, and he's like, "Nah, we're just playing, bro. Go chill." But with Erica's standing there, and he's like, he says something like, "Oh, you're worried about this? I thought you were worried about the fact that I was giving you nightmares, because that's how we advance the plot. Is I just admit things." in public, I guess,
Yes.
on accident. And instead, Vincent. Also, like 4 lines of dialogue, I think, happened, and then Vincent comes back to it and loops back. He's like, "By the way, I remember you just said 5 minutes ago that you admitted this," which is weird.
And the Catherine C ending too. Vincent ends up in the bar when you're done with the last level, and he has the boss call Catherine C to propose, and he proposes, and her dad shows up in the bar, and yeah, that's basically it. And then you end up with the whole succubus ending. Although like there's like one scene between where they wake up in bed, and the boss is just laying next to them. Jace,
I like
and he
that.
just like looks over and I'm like, what the fuck?
That's pretty good.
So he's like stalking them apparently.
Weird. Okay,
That's bizarre.
that's it. No more questions.
Yeah, there's not really anything else good on here. Yeah, I guess we're done.
All right. Thanks for listening. Do we say something? I'm LaRue, and there.
Yeah, we're
Later.
going to sleep. Night.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, we're all gonna die now. Don't play Catherine.
Next
Just
month.
listen to this.
Shin Megami Tensei 4 Archangels and Theology thingy. I watched the video.
SMT4 sucks. It's a bad game.
Do not shield this video.
You already shielded the
Every
video.
time.
It's too late
Don't
now.
think
Yow, LV. Yow.
夢でカンソルシー One, two, three, get sucked in my sheets これは現実、それが dream 混ざる密度のこんなクリーン
つながる仕組みはヘンとヘン人との関係はエンとエン
原点とゴン結ぶ点と点あとはセンスで決まる
運命の運命
Just like a nightmare 指折り数えてもきれいな羊 Wolfing a teddy bear 抗えない夢を見せて
Fight, man, fight, yo
時間はないぜ兄弟外せば兄弟そんな正体登れるとこまで登ろうが後戻りはできないこの後悔ビッグなハウスにビッグなカーがなくても案外引っかかる押したり引ったりして落とせる頂上目指してやつ一目
Yo. Life は結局バブルじゃん弾けるまで弱